Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy ChuckDiesal checking in. We're at Lucerna Music Bar. It's going down tonight. I got Souls of Mischief in the house. Got them right before they're gonna rock the house. I hope you were here. So, man, I'm gonna let the brothers introduce themselves, so we're gonna take it from there.
Yo, what's happening? It's Tajay.
What up? It's your boy Opio.
What up, world? Festo D, Hieroglyphics, Souls of Mischief.
What up? What up? A plus.
Yeah, so man, I got these brothers in the house, and I just got a couple questions for y'all. Y'all Oakland-based, California. How did Souls and Hieroglyphics get started?
You know, we grew up in the same neighborhood, went to school with each other, and just had a real passion for hip hop. There wasn't a lot of people that was into it at the time, So when you ran into somebody that had a kindred spirit, it was like automatically you just became best friends, So that's basically how it happened.
One of the things I want to ask, y'all came up, but when did y'all officially start Souls of Mischief?
What, 19? It's been iterations of the group, but once the group name changed, started off as A plus and Tajay.
Okay.
And then Opio came along, and then myself. So when we all four of us finally decided on a group name, it was probably 90, 91, around there.
For sure. I just have a question, and I know this had to be a ripple for y'all. When y'all were coming up, was Stanley the man? I'm talking about Hammer. Just a perspective, because y'all were living out there, and it's like, I know how Kanye, Twister came up from Chicago. I'm just curious.
Yeah, man. Hammer, he was the dude. Just doing hip hop and becoming an artist from a local level to a national scale, and coming from where we grew up, from the same place where we grew up. It was all, that person was always a big deal. Whether it was Too Short, whether it was MC Hammer, whether it was Oakland 357, Richie Rich, or whoever else was coming out from the Bay Area at that time, and from Oakland specifically. You were a big star in the town, of course, if you were now on a national scale.
That's what's up. And the other biggest collaboration that I see that's been popping off with you guys from over the years has been Goapele. From what I've seen, just like the collaboration, she seems like a sister. And like just high school, or how, I'm just curious.
Yeah. Goapele is a little bit younger than us, but she's definitely like our little sister. She grew up around us and all that from way back. Her collaborations with us on the Hyro albums, etc., have always been just exceptional. She brings a level of soul and sort of she brings out a different feeling in the music that we're making. You know what I'm saying? So I one love to Goapele. She's always been a beautiful spirit and been good people from day one.
That's what's up. And I always ask this question: is there a difference from you as far as energy or just performance of like America to Europe or Australia to Asia? Is the vibe different of how you approach it or perform differently, or is it all relative?
We tour worldwide pretty consistently, so for us it's not really about changing up to kind of match everywhere we go. We do different types of sets, different lengths, depending if we're doing a festival or if it's a club show, stuff like that. But in terms of just traveling all over the place, we do appreciate the differences and the nuances of all these different places. But what we try to do is have a show that's, brings what our energy to the table. So we feel like our energy is universal. So when we get on stage, we just, it's not something that we take lightly. We love to perform. We put a lot of hard work into the rehearsal and just the thought process of what our show is gonna be. But we do take into account we're gonna be in these different places, and everywhere has its own kind of nuance.
That's why I asked.
We have traveled extensively, but spending extended periods of times in one city is not something that we've done. Like, I've been to Prague, but I haven't stayed here for months at a time or a year or something. So I can't really claim to understand every single thing about the people. But I feel like because we've been doing it for so long, because we take performing seriously, I feel like we bring a lot to the table when we come and perform. So that's really what we try to do. Just try to do our best every time we go somewhere.
Okay, that's what's up. So I spoke on it. So understand how Souls got started, and then so I was basically asking about the origin of how Hieroglyphics, of how y'all came together.
Well, that's kind of like, I think it's the same story as how Opio explained it. It's kind of not any different than that.
So it's still
we grew up together at a very young.
Sure.
Different members all grew up together, and as the years went on, like we'd all meet each other, and by the time we formed Hieroglyphics, it was a certain amount of people, and even at that time, there were other people that were involved who didn't end up being the core of Hieroglyphics in the end, and but it was the same kind of thing. We grew up together with this natural love and affinity for hip hop.
Okay, for sure.
And that was a unifying factor. It wasn't everyday. It wasn't something that everybody was into. So like Oak said, when you meet other people that have that same unique interest, it's a bond. It's a unifying factor and a catalyst to bonding.
Right.
So yeah, same thing with Hieroglyphics.
Okay, for sure. No, I just
Nah, you're good, brother. You're good.
So what I want to know is, it's been California's been on fire since Lamar went at Audrey. I see that in Southern California it's brought unity. With Oakland, has it been the same type of unity, or do you understand what I'm saying? As far as like, it seemed that Kendrick kind of sparked a fire of unity behind that with this, So I was just wondering, does that ripple with all California, or has that just been?
You know what? That's a great question. I don't really know, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's always been unity, but there's been beef too. You know what I mean? But in this time right now, I think that if you're out here telling us what's going on in California, that's what's being portrayed. That's what's, you know what I mean? Okay. So I think that's a positive light. You know what I'm saying? I think that nothing violent has happened since they've been going back and forth, and so that's always good.
Because
violence.
I come from Chicago, so
yeah.
We're very, I won't say hostile, but gang. We upstrap, and it's once the RICO laws came in and they took all the leaders away, everybody went wild cowboy. So our city changed. So like for me, I would love to see something like that to make the young boys come together. So that's what I know. It's like it's Oakland to Los Angeles. That's not. It's like what 4 hour drive. So it's a totally different land. But I was just curious if it was a Cali thing, or as you say, how it's being portrayed. How I see it, I see unity.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's unity there. So let me just state this though. I want to say like what we're about. Mm-hmm. We're always pushing positivity. And always, trying to bring the community together, the hip hop community together, and doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what you look like, no matter where you went to school, none of that matters. The only thing that matters to us is, doing dope music and having it be in positive music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the energy that we want to give off. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we've been fortunate enough to accomplish that. For the last 30 years, which is
longevity.
Yeah, exactly. So we're proud of that.
And I want to ask one last question, because I'm happy in y'all region. I was talking to Speech last month, and I was unaware that Farside had reunited. And because like for me, I originally, I think I saw them first time like '95, and then I've seen Farside A with Booty Brown and Amani, and then I've seen C with Kid and Lip. So it was happy, and just the longevity is like, how has it been for you guys? How have y'all, because as we grow as men, our lives are different. How have y'all kept it together to still be doing, these tours after 30 plus years?
I mean, it's a brotherhood, It's like, you always gonna go through your ups and downs. I think that's something that's always going to be part of the group dynamic. You know what I mean? It's like you have everybody is their own individual man. They have their own thoughts, their own passions. And if we don't bring that to the table, if we're not allowed to bring our individuality to the table, I feel like we understand this, that ultimately we're going to suffer from that. Like we are made stronger by some of the differences of opinion or differences of how we view things, especially in the creative process. So people need to be able to be passionate about what they believe in, and we need to be able to challenge each other. And I think that because we have a lot of love and respect for each other, we can do that and still, remain intact after having differences of opinion, basically. So it's not about everything just being perfect all the time. It's more about just having that mutual respect that we have. And like I say, I feel like if I wasn't able to voice my opinion with all of my bluster and might or whatever, I don't think that any of us would benefit from me kind of pulling back or not saying how I feel or whatever. Because when you're in the creative process, it's like steel sharpens steel. So we got to have that when we around each other, and we encourage each other to do that.
Yeah. So appreciate y'all, brother, giving me this time. Last thing, how if people want to connect with you, what's the individual ways and the collective way to get in touch with y'all?
Shit, at Souls of Mischief, at the Real Hyro Crew on IG and Twitter, and then our individuals. I'm at Festo Hyro Soul.
I'm at Hyro A+. Also wanted to add thesoulsofmischief.com.
Yeah, soulsofmischief.com as well. And I'm OPO Hyro SOM on all social media.
And I'm Rap Noir, RAPNOIR on social media. Soulsofmischief.com, though, it has all our gear, all our upcoming shows, all kind of stuff. Check us out.
Well, you heard it from the people. So, man, we're going to, right now, it's we in the future, but we're doing all Hyro today. So, man, I'm going to keep it moving. ChuckDiesal with the ride.